The only way in which to understand what is going on in the mind of a person is through introspection. So let me present to you a very old concept. Actually, it comes from Greek executive academies 400 years before Christ, and it's called PROTREPTIC. Pro just is an emphasis, and PROTREPTIC is the same word or as we find in tropes, trepo, trepein, and this means to turn. Protreptic is the art of turning a human being towards himself. If we go back to the Greeks and even long before that in the old religions, we will always find man pictured as a mixture of a brute or a beast and an angel. The Greeks overtake this, the Romans do, and so does Western culture. Of course also Christianity, speaking about the inherited sin. The flesh is sinful, and this is due to the fact that it is filled with desires and with passions, with irrationality, aggressions, all these feelings which destroy mutuality and hence the community, but also which destroys a man's power over himself. And the Greek philosophy is built on the belief that a man can acquire power over himself, to be the master of his own house, the ton ephemin, as they called it in Greek. If you take care of yourself, you have to be a master of your desires and passions, because they will destroy your life, unless you are very lucky. So in these Greek academies, executive academies, people were taught how to manage their passions. And when you manage your passions, you do it on behalf of a value or more values. You act through a value. And protreptic is the art of letting a person focus on her or his values. If you do that, you can lead a well-examined life, as Socrates said. You can live an enlightened life. But if you look on the tradition of Western thought, you'll see that very often, to an increasing degree, especially in neo-economics and its meta-theory, utilitarianism, you can see that the enlightened self-interest is the dogma. This is due to the fact that one thinks that you get free, you become a free person, the more you follow your own interests. But of course, this again presupposes that you know your own interests. And protreptic will not accept the fact that everybody knows their own proper interests. What do you really want? Because what do you really want is a question which again presupposes an answer to the question, who am I? So protreptic seeks to help another person to find out who am I. This should not be understood in this way that the protreptic guide tells the receiver how to understand himself. Not at all. There's nothing manipulative in it. It's quite the opposite. It's an offer to another person. But it is very different from psychological guided therapy, because it has no firm or strict or natural model of the balance of the mind. Every person could create their own balance. What cannot be suspended, of course, is the values which you act upon. Often values are set as opposites to drives, desires and passions, but more often, and at this level of civilization, I think they have been incorporated into many values. So we think we act on behalf of a value when we act on behalf of desire or passion, and we think we realize passion when we actually realize values which we are not the master of. So this, to find out what is actually value, is very important in the protreptic art. You do that in the discussion by discussing a word. Let us take a funny example. The old band Take That has been recreated. The word take that, or the phrase take that, it's rather interesting. It might mean, are you strong enough to face it? Are you clever enough to understand our message? Do you have the guts to face your own passion? But it could also mean, well, here is the truth. And according to the ways in which you accept this word, in which you interpret it or just understand it unknowingly, you actually show a lot of yourself. So if you feel challenged by it, you obviously needs to be challenged. And if you don't feel challenged but offended by it, it might point to the fact that you already have a sort of firm identity. Let us say that we said, take that means, are you strong enough to face the message? Then I could ask as a protreptic guide, why should we be strong enough to face the message? And you as a receiver could answer, because I want to be strong and I want to face any message. And I might ask you, any message? Do you really mean that? Why if somebody told you that he definitely knew that you hadn't got an eternal soul? But I believe that already. Okay, I could say, why do you believe that? Because science taught me. What do you think that this would give to your life, this knowledge? That I live life more intensely, that I know that we are just here once, that I use any minute, and that I try to be a good person so that people will remember me as a good person. And then I could ask, why do you want to be remembered as a good person? Because now you don't expect a judgment after your death. And you might say, I want that my family shall think good about me, that my friends shall. I don't want to make a bad impression on the world. Okay, I could ask, why don't you want to make a bad impression on the world? Because I want to make the world better. But have you thought about what it means to make the world better? I want that every people should feel good. But what does it mean to feel good? To feel well, to lead a pleasant life, to have luck, to be happy. What do you understand by happiness? If you tell me, or try to tell me what you understand by happiness, I would come to know quite a lot about you. Even more than if you told me how tall you were, your weight, your sexual habits, and so on. Because your ideal of happiness telling me how you have actually managed your life and how you wanted to live it. It tells me about your style, your techniques, your technologies of self, as Foucault said. It tells me how you work on yourself as a human being. And when you have led some of these conservations, you will slowly find out that a human being is a person which is totally filled with values.